Enforcement Pirate Radio Network. Radio Free Larry presiding.
You can run, but you can't hide.
Radio Free Larry.
All right, here we go again. Buckle up. Rough roads ahead. I suspect you all realize where you all are now. No, no, you tell me what that means. It's like somebody back there knows what's going on. So she came out clean. This place came out clean so far. Now, something strange did happen, and I chose not to further, interview. I was just trying to move in, right? So I didn't want her to think that, the DOJ is here and we're investigating or anything. So, what she told me that there were no long waits here, and there is no other place that I can see called St. Andrews. I might be wrong, which means I may not have been seeing what the truth was. So I don't know, but again, it tried to, they do. They have a blanket spell that everything you buy and everything you do, you'll find something better like afterward to go shoot. So I went back up to the other one just to dispel it. I had to go see the other one so I could either prove it or dispel it. Because again, if I pick the wrong apartment, it doesn't sit on me; it'll sit on you, and you'll go down for it. But so I went. Well, no, there's a popo voice in here. And he said, no, this is better. It's quieter. You're down deeper in the woods. And the other place is 3 floors instead of 2. So you have more people per square inch than the one over there because it's 3 floors. The apartment's a little bit bigger, a little bit more money, maybe a little nicer. But again, the apartment, what happened is I didn't see the other apartment. The first apartment's out front, which is not where I want to be. The second apartment, not bad. Some bushes around the deck, so it's a little bit of privacy even on the deck. But in that place, there's like the center square, and it's on the center square. So like I'll be on parade. It just felt too open, This one, it's over in the corner. It's got a bunch of trees. It's more of a kind of a more mature residential setting, even though that one was actually built a few years sooner. Right. So I think, maybe indoors, it'd have been a little nicer. I'd have paid more. I'd have paid for it. But the energy is completely different. The energy is completely different. So again, that popo voice that's trying to say, "Hey, I think it's better over there," may know energies, or may feel it. Again, you may not know energies, but you may feel energies and say, "Well, I like it here better than there," kind of thing. What you're actually feeling is metaphysical energies. Now, there was a confusion as to exactly where the apartment is in the complex. So I finally isolated it and found it. It was actually a building over from where I thought, which puts me closer to the other road, which I didn't want to be near. But it is what it is. 100%. No, it's already a connection with somebody. I got no idea what it is. So I went and looked at the apartment. I came out and I started driving out of there. And there's a woman walking her dog, and I don't know if I saw her and she saw me, kind of thing. But it's just like I recognized her, so I didn't know if she recognized. So I drove up, and then I spun around to go back out the other way or go by the apartment again or something, whatever I was doing. And she was still walking her dog, and she got this like goofy smile on her face. So she actually thought something. So she did, recognize me, which is nothing more than what's supposed to happen between neighbors. 100%. Again, the world has accepted something that's not okay. Here, I'm getting the cue to tell you what happened here. Okay, remember the cancer symbols over by the Shields field? God focused me on the one leaning in towards the field. Now they're leaning in towards the road. So heal the road, but it has to do because I was like, is it speaking about my apartment complex? What something's asking, was it a warning? And I said, I don't know, I don't get that, but I don't. And then all of a sudden, that cancer, it's a telephone pole that looks like the Cancer Society's emblem, and that's what they have down here. So again, not every pole looks like this, even though they have the same shape. So as far as seeing, okay, this guy, you got to do something for bicycles over here. They're doing construction. I don't know what you can do, but you didn't leave the bicycle lane on what is this road? 135th or something. The construction, was it 69 and 135th? By the overpass there. Yeah, 135th. Well, the guy's on his bicycle and he's in the lane. Well, there's probably no way for him to go around. So one side, you should have kept a pedestrian. I don't know. Do you have pedestrian bike there? I don't know. If you don't, you need to think about it. Right. But it's not definitely there now because they're doing construction. So if anybody wants to get over here to this side, they have to go into the lane, the right lane. So, I mean, you're doing construction both sides. Somewhere you maybe should have thought of a bike pedestrian lane. If I was on a police department, I'd probably bring that up to the city. Or if I was a city manager. I'm so asleep, I didn't even know city manager exists. I didn't even know how anything worked. I just knew I liked working. I was finally able to beat everybody up, so I got a job in the Army. No, it just fell into place. Right. I actually was slated to go in the Army before that, but then I wanted to go to school, and when you're asleep, nothing works. Again, I had like a couple great semesters, and then everything fell apart. Not at the school, just in my life. So that's the way to get killed. You have a couple great semesters. Everybody's like, eh. I know people are cursing me. And that's what's really happening a lot. I mean, parents don't probably know that. Because again, we're not in Kansas anymore, Toto. We're in anti-Kansas, anti-Uck. Thank you, Larry. Thank you, Larry. So I'm moving into the area I'm supposed to be. That's why I was just traveling down here. Well, even though a religion and I don't agree, I speak with people in religion inside, and they can hear me, and I've helped guide a lot of different things. And here's like the FP license plate. I speak to the FP people. You shouldn't be effing your P, you know that. Fraternal Order of Police. The FP. See, it's a sign. You F your P, and it's from Illinois. Illinois. Because see, that's what I'm talking about. Illinois. No, they possessed me. I didn't know what happened. I was like laying there going, I don't know what's going on. I don't know who are these people. What's going on? Had nothing to do with the police. All right. About a drug. Right. Yeah, whatever that place was. Where did I shop at there? What was that? I actually had the inference that something was wrong, but it came out like the meat was bad or something. But somebody probably drugged me through something there. They don't care, man. They'll drug 5 or 6 people and not care. Right. And really, unless they're triggering it's not a deal. But that was pretty bad. Some of the drugs are psychological torture in themselves, right? Especially if you're not somebody who wants to be drugged, right? I mean, people smoke pot and I think, oh, this stuff's cool. Wow. Let's all go out and have sex. There was, what I was trying to see if there was a nexus between what I was saying on the computer and how they would treat me. at that point. Well, she kind of cut it short. So I just think there was nothing really much more to do because everything's over the computer. I wanted to see if they like warned her that I was dangerous or something. And no, over the years, that's what's not happening like that. I wasn't playing somebody. Right. Well, the thing is, if somebody's having trouble, you don't add to that trouble. Again, they're guilty of causing people to have psychological disorder to begin with, and then when they have psychological disorder, to operate them into further psychological disorder. I mean, that's not what you're supposed to be doing. You're supposed to that's not de-escalation. And they go, "Oh, we're psychologically testing them." Yep. Okay. So you're psychologically testing the person that has psychological issues, but everybody else gets to live a free and happy life. And you wonder why that person has psychological issues? I mean, so ignorant. I mean, the people I worked with, I didn't know they were running law enforcement. I mean, they're so fucking ignorant. It's like, I thought these were like, we all agreed that they were the, peripheral that just sit there and do nothing. That way they can't harm anything. So again, a lot of the issues we have started decades ago. So it's not going to fix overnight. So when we can't fix it overnight, they go, "Oh, it didn't fix overnight." But meanwhile, they're still cursing and psychologically operating. So again, that's what's happening in Israel against the Palestinians. They're not perfect, but it goes back and forth on who's responsible. And I told you that over the years. Like a boss better watch himself because he's starting to be the instigator. 100%. But I know it's a reaction to trauma, or not his trauma. He lives a pretty good life, but the trauma of his people. Right. But he's got to be careful because it'll be in his court at that point if he starts taking people like me down because he's saying the Jews that are Ashkenazi. I'm like, what are you talking about? Ashkenazis help you everywhere. I'm probably the CIA or the intelligence Mossad guy in Israel is probably that helps them. Made that statement. He's probably Ashkenazi. So again, that's what's happening. You're receiving the Ashkenazi hate thing because the Ashkenazi people are helping you. We're not in power. We were in power under Omar, and we were getting somewhere. I mean, there's probably some Ashkenazi people that are evil, but again, are they really Jews? I mean, at a certain point, God could say out. Like I said, they're Israelis. I'm an Israelite. Yeah, there's a lot to that kind of stuff. Right. What is it to be a chosen person? I think Rabbi Jesus had a lot to say about that. When we look at what our mitzvahs, again, you don't realize how lucky you all are and how good lives you live. You didn't really work for them. I know God didn't bless you over the other people. God would have blessed them the same if God could. And they aren't doing anything to block that blessing, and that's the problem. It's pretty funny in Kansas, but a lot of houses, they're like older that would be a little bit more not upkept as well, are upkept well here. I wonder if it's the weather. I wonder if the weather is just, for some reason, the weather, or maybe it's construction. It's a construction probably. Probably got some good, honest construction people, at least did. I don't know about now, but right. Some of your homes that were built like, 80s, 90s, and the early part of this century are really, really, really held up well. Right. That they were very high quality construction. City manager Larry. Driving around the city. That held up well over there. We got to get some investment over there. That's not holding up as well. All right. So again, it was an interesting couple days here. She said they weren't hard to move into, that they were always available. I don't get that. I mean, anybody that can hack out a few listings, right? Or even change the numbers on listings. I mean, we're talking about spycraft, but obviously they have used that. They used spycraft against Jonathan Luna. They used spycraft against Deputy Director Dudley. And what they'll say is, if push came to shove, they say, well, they were guilty of some crime. That's like the insano of it all. Well, the theory is if somebody reacts poorly to it, they're guilty of a crime. But my experience with it is if you don't act poorly, they'll increase until you act poorly, even if they have to drug you. So again, a cop might say, well, I'm just doing this. But at a certain point, you got to do the right thing. You got to stop psychologically operating people. It doesn't matter what they say because they'll tell you. I've already spoken to officers inside and investigators, tons of them, and psychically, and it's real. And they say they've seen investigations where they credit the bullshit and had nothing to do with the individual being arrested. The bullshit made it more difficult because what are they doing? They'll investigate 5 additional people just to use the psychological torture on those 5 people, and then finally go and arrest the one that's actually guilty, or by default have to, because it's somehow exposed. So again, they're leaving these people out there. They go, well, we watch the other person and we make sure bullshit. Like I don't know, I can remember the guy's name, the Go Beach thing. There's a chance that, and again, spycraft is in depth. They can go through 3 different people before you get to the person that they're trying to manipulate. So you don't even know who it is. So again, the police chief is probably just a fall person, right? Just like me. Oh, he could have moved in over here. He could have moved over there, but they hide those places from me or attack me from there to get some sort of manipulation. So now the story is they may have had some sort of connection. I don't think so. I mean, they could have, but I don't think so. I think they independently manipulated the police chief. Again, when I got to the end of the marshal service, I couldn't get my work done. I mean, the extra work that I would do. I just too burned out. I mean, they killed me. It isn't the work that killed me. It's what they did to me extracurricularly. Again, 24/7. I was pretty much just talking to spycraft operators or somebody manipulated by a spycraft operator. And some of the people had promises of millionaire status. I mean, they are millionaires today. If they would just do what they were told. Because they knew of that system. They showed them that system. Okay, here's Menorah. I got to heal this place. Okay, there's a couple other things I got to speak about, right? I'll just be driving through and then straight out the other side or back out this side. Oh, the schools, right. What was it, Hartland, right. So I ended up passing, when I went to look at the other place again, I ended up passing a school, Heartland Elementary School. So that tells me to heal that school and then also heal the schools in the Heartland. And I imagine that's the Midwest. That's what I believe. So heal the schools in the Midwest. Then the follow-up was elementary school names, which will be interesting all around the United States because there's a variety of ways they name them. Right? Elementary school names are cues on where to heal. But it may not be the exact name. It may mean something around that name. Such as, let's say, Martin Luther King Elementary School. What does that tell you? Heal civil rights abuses. It's like the states game you used to play, right? Okay, FBI psychology here. Zig. It's just a manifestation of that states game he used to play when his family would travel. There is no healing. No such thing. In the name of Jesus. Looks good in here. Should look great. So it's down. See, I said it looks good, so you would think, oh, it looks good in there. But it's supposed to be great. So it's down. It's interesting. Patient parking only. So I guess it's just the hospital saying we haven't parked. We're still working. We're still trying to keep things well. Thank you, bro. I have to heal this place in here a little bit. HCA Midwest Health. That guy needs to be healed. Yeah, something's in here. That guy's confused right there. He's trying to get somewhere. He doesn't look like a poor man, so he's an average, at least an average man. He can't see in here. Actually, out the other side. How did I know that, huh? I had no idea that it had it out the other side. So shields, the shields, you just keep healing, and it may be that there might be nothing wrong with Shields Field, or there could be. So again, make sure that we're using the right type of materials and nobody used something wrong at the Shields Field, so that in 10 years we notice that the kids are all having cancer diagnosis or something like that. So I'm not sure how you would do that. I mean, you could do a quick environmental study of the materials and all that. But it may be this. It's a concentration of young people, and if we heal that location, then we could end up, we're healing somebody who would have manifested, where cancer would have manifested, but then that's a big metaphysical and physical, like, you eat this kind of food, you eat that kind of food, you go here, you go there. So again, there's a lot to that metaphysical. So you have to heal Shields and the Shields organizations, the youth organizations of cancer. Thank you, Lord. Trying to see what I'm doing here. There's something else. That's brief time that I wasn't on air. So I didn't want to get on the air and be normal. I wanted to give it time to see if somebody would start following me. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay, the crosses are leaning in. What does that mean? It means you didn't. What is the crosses leaning? What does that mean? We didn't put a good foundation on these telephone poles. Can we get money back from the contractor? Assess a fee or something. Or the city put them in. Or county or state. Now, it all means something. God, everything means something. The question is whether you can see what it means. Because they block God's voice, so God did all this other stuff. And the aliens. The light posts, there's a certain way it looks like aliens. The Center Street light posts and lamp posts, the metal ones, the all metal ones. That's a sign for aliens somehow. But it's metaphysical aliens. And they said, well, we helped. But in scriptures, they're called gods. But they're with God, and they're living beings, spiritual beings. Call them angels too, I guess. You've seen that crossover in science fiction and other places because it's real. Right? But there is no God but God the Father, or God, even higher than God the Father, God, period. Right? So the gods were kind of like angels. Well, the goal is to get rid of hierarchy. I know hierarchy's places in the scriptures, but if you kind of look deeper into what God's saying, there is no hierarchy. And it doesn't mean that God isn't God, but God is just like, it's just everything is. Again, that's the word God, the words God had instructed me in. Everything just is. Right? And of course, that sounds almost like justice. Well, because it doesn't have to be in hierarchy. In reality, there doesn't have to be an hierarchy. All the other bullshit screws it up. Right. And I guess the younger generation is trying to get there somehow, but I don't know if you could get there on this planet. There's too much noise. Right. All right, I got to get up the road here. I kind of would rather buy their two or rent their 2 bedroom over there, but I can't afford it. Right. It's almost cost effective enough, but I mean it's really big, so it's like 1,000 square foot or something, a little over 1,000. So for an apartment, that's a good size. It's like 1,100 or something. Well, I would, I wouldn't. I'm probably gonna have to get like a storage unit, or she doesn't have a garage available right away, but so I could get a 2 bedroom and just use the 1 bedroom, but it's like 1,500. It's kind of pricey. Storage unit's only going to cost me like $60 or 5 by 10. It's just I like what Lexington Farms looks like. It's just the energy over there is just not as well. Actually, and it's like I said, the apartment that's available is like right out in the middle. It's the square. It's like maybe back in my bodybuilder days, I could have went out there and put myself on parade, try to find a wife. I have no idea where I am. Healed name of Jesus. This actually doesn't look too bad over here. Looks like they probably know about healing over here, I would say. Right. I'm over by Missouri. All right, so I'm missing something. No, those people did kill themselves, and the deep state made it happen. But that deep state is Republican, Democrat, foreign, domestic. Being drugged, but you know what the effects of the drug was. So when you didn't have, so I get that Minecraft trick, right? Drug them real hard, and then back it off, and they won't notice it, if not, if at all. Because again, they're operating you at the same time, confusing you so you can't figure anything out. But power, and I'm not saying it's a big person, like somebody with metaphysical power and status wanted the opportunity to shoot the fugitive. And again, sometimes that's like a big deal to some law enforcement entities, like, oh, this so and so was in a gunfight and he killed the fugitive. Then they can be an asshole the rest of their career, and everybody promotes them. So again, that can cause, because I understand that they were a little confused as to why. I guess there was confusion. It came in afterwards. That there's confusion as to why they couldn't find him. It didn't make any sense. Your own people are blocking you from finding him because they want the opportunity for a firefight. And then, of course, there is the other curses. There's a curse on them to be killed, to die, from Brazil and from here. That's why you couldn't find him. because they wanted to manifest a scenario where you would kill him. And when he took the gun, that's when it opened up, or the rifle. I don't. Who knows if he even has a rifle anymore? It's kind of a weird thing to be carrying when you're a fugitive, unless you stay in the woodline. But it'd be easier to kill him now because he had his hands on a rifle. Right. And he might have it. I don't know. That's pretty funny, huh? Not funny, huh? But like even law enforcement officers hating another law enforcement officer solving a case blocks the ability to solve cases. That's why that stuff has to be taken away. You can't be willing stuff and cursing people in there. Oh, I'm over by the Walmart. I shopped here a couple of times. How'd I get over here? There we go. Oh, I drove down 135th. This is where the Walmart market is. That Kenneth came up again. It's at the Heal Kenneth of Cancer. Heal Kenneth of Cancer. Heal Kenneth. Heal. And it says 865 sick over there. So yeah, that's Heal Kenneth. Now it says 138 CRC. See, now just. Okay, it's going. So oh, darn, I lost it again. What was it? Shoot, darn it. Being blocked. Oh, plates. I saw like KVL or something. Again, or KLV. They use those when they're psychologically operating Christians to make them crazy. Because it'll go, it twists the mind. Because they'll start it by showing you KJV plates, license plates. So your mind adjusts in to see KJV. Then you start seeing KLV, KVJ, and of course they're drugging you at the same time. And that's when people commit suicide or might freak out and shoot somebody. So again, it's how they work around the plates and they drug the person they're doing it to. What do you know? I'm at Row Avenue. Row room people. And I'm in Leewood. I figured I was in Leewood. It looks familiar. I gotta get out of here. Get something to drink. Plan the next couple of days. Now, the one that they said I should have rented, like, oh, you should have rented this one. It just did not. I'd had a little more space. It'd have been a little nicer. I'd have paid a lot more money, and it just the location is not really private at all. 100%. It even the spirit was so nasty, really. It actually showed me. It was over by that elementary school, which got me over. So God let the spirit do this. Show me the entrance to this trail. I mean, it took me right up to the entrance of the trail. It was down the street from that apartment complex, right? And obviously, where I'm moving has more trails and access and stuff, right? And it could have did that like before I didn't rent it, right? And then I was able to like I went down the other street, and then there was the elementary school. Heartland, 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 Heartland. What does that mean? Heading off. That's how he whacks over. Because you remember, I thought KLD, KVJ, yeah. So I'm noticing those around. They're trying to kill a Christian somewhere. Could be me. Who knows? However, oh, this is the other one. This is the other part. I just remembered it. Have to heal those personalized plates because they're willing into those personalized plates to cause them to make everybody crazy because there's like an overage, right? But it could be because people believe they're being marked with their license plates. And they may have thought it all along, but until Menorah healed. But until I said something, nobody was going to do anything, right? There's actually code on like the S. The S is an is. It works sometimes. It doesn't work all the time. Like here it says P is P, so a P means P. But it'll say P is V, and then you look around and at the P letters and see what happens when you replace them with V. Or P is T, or T is V. HCA, eh? You know, it says HCA. They're trying to confuse it. HCA, the heroin C. Oh, H means something else sometimes too, but it's I think it means. Okay, so it came from emergency department. You're seeing heroin. Well, there's some sexual curses, but it's not like it was that I can see. I mean, it could still be there. It's funny the word C just went by. SEA. 06 at SEA. God's C's coming on here. Leewood. Let's make a commercial for Leewood. Leewood. I got to keep going this way, and then I'll go left at a certain point. All right, see, that's an evil cue. Block real estate. It says block real estate services, but the cue came out as block real estate. So there may be somebody at work they're killing, or it could be a cop driving up the street and he's going to block, housing and real estate for people that they're attacking. Block real estate. That should be like a nationally syndicated show, right? They saw that coming, so they gave Bongino a job so that people wouldn't say that I should have one. Actually, it was much better back then. I wasn't as injured. That's supposed to piss me off, the whole Bongino thing. All right. 227 RPD. ARE, police department. 22. Is it usually a curse spit on somebody? 7. Completion. Can't see into to see what side of the argument it's on. Maybe telling cops to stop spitting on people. All right. Yeah, these Missouri plates work much better, huh? Who's screwing around with the Kansas plates? Thank you, bro. University of Kansas Health System. Okay. Children's Mercy Hospital, Kansas. It's got that like person behind a kid, like supposed to look like swinging the kid. It looked like he was abducting a kid. So let's see all that stuff, and in the hospital setting. So healed child abductions and healed child sexual abuse in the hospital setting. Now I gotta get rolling. They wanted me to go up Metcalf. I'm like, nah, I got a higher calling from whoever needed me to go up Metcalf and hail something up there. Sunlight is the cue. Yeah, it's weird. Anti-C up here. Traffic is like it's thicker, but people are doing this crazy on and off again with the brakes. And anti-oc was the cue, and that's anti-C. Well, see, that's what I had to do. So we got to heal this stretch of the roadway. So it was trying to get me to exit because the traffic was going to get thick here, but I had to stay on here to see that something's wrong with the road. See. Thanks, Larry. Thank you, bro. But I can exit now. Wait, now it just gave me the reverse thing. Like, you can't go, it's not clear. But before it was like, it's clear and it wasn't clear. to heal. Was that 435 uh, at Metcalf, Antioch, and a little bit further up. Just where you get those, you know, somebody breaks and then it's sending false messages to the mind. So anytime you come on an accident scene, you might be able to see what happened, or they might tell you what happened, and you can heal it because it's a metaphysical. And someone say, well, if you don't heal it, you can have a bigger house, a new swimming pool. That FBI agent woman will fall for you. That's the place I heal every so often. That's pretty weird because it's up right up. Okay, it's off the highway, and I heal that a lot. But then the highway screwed up too. And if somebody's spitting too, right, somebody's spitting. Whoa. No, you didn't see me, but I saw you. So whack right now. Yeah, my mistake was moving. Like where I put my storage the first time, that's where I should have tried to get some place to stay. Right. Well, there's no reason to discount all of Jesus' stuff because other people are, Christians or whatever around him. I mean, it's oral Torah, and a lot of it's useful for, people that are Jewish. Word salon turns into shalom. The sea's turning up. Right, the Cherokee tribe is going south. Need to heal them. I guess tribes. I guess there's several reservations. Right. It's the weather. Even though it's cooling, it's the weather where people put their windows down. Like it's been too hot to put the windows down. So you like seeing people now. Oh, look, it's people. There's people in these cars. Yeah, everybody's gonna hear me in their head later on today. Oh, look, there's people in these cars. Look. Anti-Ak. I go over this way. Actually, I should have went one more, but I gotta go this way, I guess. Oh, it's this lady and her baby stroller. Healed in the name of Jesus. See, we all carry curses, but if you stay up a certain way, then they don't affect you as much. But yet, like that woman right there, I don't know, mid-20s, maybe 30. She's pushing a baby stroller, and her life's okay, but her power was about to tank, and all those curses were about to flood in. Now with a baby. 100%. Thanks, sir. Yeah. Oh, what is this one? Pawnee, Helia Pawnee tribe nation, I guess. And then let's heal Pawnee Elementary School. See, something was just granted, but I don't know. I know what granted means in the medical physical world. Maybe it was President Carter. He granted something for the school. Oh, Jesus, Knox. Who's Farley? Yeah, it's still leaning towards healing cancer. Well, the whole thing with 9/11, I didn't have to do much this year, so it didn't even trigger my mind. So which means we were better off for 9/11 this year. But you can't sit on your laurels. You continue due diligence and doing the extra stuff that you're supposed to do. Because I get what happens is I'll get called up. It's metaphysical, right? And you'll need me to say a few things, do some healing. Right. So it's actually at first I was like confused, I don't understand, and then of course Satan's going because you're stupid, you're an idiot, you didn't know it was 9/11. And then it's like, well, you weren't as needed as you were the previous years. It's much safer this year. Well, I think right, you got so much surveillance out because of all the other things going on, right? Heal in the name of Jesus. Lenexians. Should I make myself king of Lenexa? This is my guy to heal. Heal in the name of Jesus. Guy in a wheelchair, don't forget to heal him. Schwitzer 5th, between 85th and 86th. Oh, thank you, Larry. Make sure. Slow down! Slow down! You know, one of those signs out there. That's really neat that you all put that. Now someone will get behind me. You go too slow. Start cursing me. Oh, there's that guy. That's weird that he just showed up. I took it to Walmart about 2 hours ago. Must have went somewhere already. Got a new job. That's cool for him. So hopefully this all happens well for me. Just get out of here at least. Because I don't have to sign a contract for cable TV and internet. I was just like, no. What happens is because I'm retired, and you know, I do a hell of a lot of metaphysical work for people, and I help people physically. They're down and out a bit, but you know, people just get jealous and angry. It's just like insane. So it's about time to cut and run here. I can feel that energy picking up. Well, stay peaceful. Praise God in all that you do. Praise God.